What's happened to them has probably, to that extent, never happened in our country before. The J6 hostages, you saw the spirit that these people have, the spirit. You would think they wouldn't have any spirit left, but they have tremendous spirit. What's happened to them has probably, to that extent, never happened in our country before.
In recent years, former U.S. President Donald Trump has had a lot to say about felons and their right to vote. He has scolded the ones who wanted to cast a ballot, arguing that they should not have that privilege. But now, the tables have turned. But the fact remains that someone who used to condemn felons wanting to vote might find himself in the same situation. And that would be a truly remarkable turn of events for a man who has always tried to portray himself as a strong and authoritative figure.
Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris has fired back at President Trump after he attacked her for withdrawing from an event at a historically black college, which had just honored him for his role in criminal justice reform. The heated Twitter exchange started Saturday morning with Trump writing in part that the criminal justice reform and best unemployment numbers ever is more than Kamala will ever be able to do for African Americans. Harris fired back, "My whole life I fought for justice and for the people, something you know nothing about. The only part of criminal justice you can claim credit for is the criminal part."
Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal. Those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. No, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it. If this election isn't won, I'm not sure that you'll ever have another election in this country. Does that make sense? I don't think you're going to have another election in this country. If we don't win this election, I don't think you're going to have another election, or certainly not an election that's meaningful. And we better get out, or we better. I actually say that the date, remember this, November 5th, I believe it's going to be the most important date in the history of our country. I believe that. This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man. And it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. and we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end, and we'll win.